Hello and welcome back on my YouTube channel. My name is Vlad and today we're gonna be talking about whiskey from April subscription of Summerton Whisky Club. And today's whiskey is a Girvan 15 years old single grain whiskey bottled by the Whiskey Baron. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of grain whiskey, but I understand that the grain whiskey is something completely different to the single malt whiskey. And I'm trying to learn how to enjoy the grain whiskey as well. And this bottle make me loads of precious times, to be honest. I didn't expect that grain whiskey can be so good. I do not want to compare the grain whiskey to the single malt whiskey because this is pointless, but yeah, I'm starting to enjoy grain whiskies as well. If I'm right, this is the second bottle from the Whiskey Baron, which has been bottled for the Summerton Whisky Club. The first one was in December 2019, and that was the blended malt. And this time we have a single grain whiskey. As I said, this is whiskey from Girvan distillery, 15 years old. And I love the idea behind this bottle, behind this whiskey. After that first release, Summerton Whisky Club from the Whiskey Baron, Dan, the owner of the Summerton Whisky Club, he had idea to bottle some single grain whiskey, and the Whiskey Baron sent him some samples of different casks, probably from Girvan distillery, and he chose one of those samples, and they decided to finish this whiskey in the first fill export hogsheads, and that's the final result. And this whiskey, as we can see, has nice color, and probably you can pick that rose, slightly pinkish color of that, and that the port casks. This whiskey has been bottled at 51.4% of ABV. Probably it's unchill filtered and natural color, I assume. And yeah, this is single grain whiskey from Girvan distillery. The Girvan distillery is owned by William Grant and Sons, the same company who's own also Glenfiddich distillery, Balvenie, Kiningvi, Alisa Bay. And if you heard about the Grant's blended Scotch whiskey, that's the main whiskey involved in this blend, Girvan whiskey. So let's dive into the whiskey and try what we have in the glass. On the nose, this lovely, beautiful, sweet smell. First of all, initially, we can smell straight away this is not a single malt whiskey. This is definitely grain whiskey. Some floral notes, some chocolate, some caramel, like fresh strawberries, raspberries, red currant, lovely red fruity nose. Some spiciness, some cinnamon, cloves maybe. Some tobacco leaves, I would say. Some leather. I need to say it's quite complex for grain whiskey. Let's try it. On the palate, loads of sweetness. Initially we have that grainy aspects, like chocolate, sweet chocolate, some caramel, and then the whiskey turning to more sourness, that red fruit sourness, like unripe strawberries, maybe slightly some oranges, some citrus. When swallowed, slightly spiciness and that leathery tobacco notes coming up. All that red fruits, fresh red fruits, with the chocolate, with the caramel, and towards the finish, that lovely sweetness coating the mouth. This whiskey actually is very thick, it's very oily, beautifully coating the mouth, and finishes medium, I would say. Very sweet, little spicy, warming, quite nice. And I need to say, in general, this whiskey is very pleasant. As I said, I didn't expect that the Grain Whisky can be so good as this one. I really enjoy this whiskey. I think if I would go to the shop and I would see this whiskey on the shelf for 50 quid, probably I wouldn't buy it because it's single grain whiskey. Because of that, I'm really glad that I am the part of the Summerton Whisky Club, because this whiskey makes me happy, to be honest, and this is quite new experience to me, myself, because as I said, I'm not a big fan of grain whiskey, but probably that will change now, because I find a lot of pleasure to trying this whiskey, tasting this whiskey, and I think this pushed me to make a more research about the grain whiskey, and I will try to find some different bottles of grain whiskey. Thank you very much, Dan, for great single grain whiskey. And yeah, I think this is something quite interesting, at least to me. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Thank you very much for your support, for your subscriptions, for your likes, for your comments. If you're not subscribing this channel yet, please consider this option. That helps me to grow this channel and giving me the happiness to doing my job with publishing these videos about the whiskey tastings. One more time, thanks for watching this video. Take care, guys. See you soon. Cheers. Thank you.